Hey guys, welcome back to Pharaoh Iron and Customs. I'm Michael, and today I'm talking about steering. Now, this is probably going to be a filler video. I kind of ran into a snag on the video that I was trying to film and put out today. I was doing a wireframe buck to make the rear fender wells, the rear inner fenders for the Volkswagen, and I ran into two problems. First problem is I don't have enough, I need my paper that I have to wrap the car up in. I had a whole roll of it and I don't know where it's gotten off to. This stuff right here. And so I'm going to stop and get a roll of that tomorrow. Second problem is if I had the paper, and I had actually considered going and stealing some of the Christmas wrapping paper, I don't have enough steel. I've just kind of rocked it, and there's not going to be enough steel in that corner. I was hoping there was enough in that piece to make both fender wells out of, but there is not. So it is what it is. And we're going to try to move forward, and I want to get a video out for today. And what I'm kind of just got down here and thinking about how the steering is going to work. Now I'm going to have a steering column before I get too far along. The steering should come through the dash somewhere approximately about where the speedometer is, which is going to mean the steering column shaft should come out right about here. And y'all may have to correct me, I may be wrong on this, but I think on a push-pull steering, the rod is supposed to hang down. And the closer you can put the Pitman arm pivot point to where the pivot on the radius arms are, the less bump steer you're going to have. Well, kind of have a couple of problems with that. One, for me to do that, I'll have to reverse this box, because if you push, when you push on a push-pull, it turns to the left, and when you pull, it comes to the right. So watch what this box does, if y'all can see it. I'm all in the light. Okay, so we said if we push, it turns left. So when you turn the steering wheel to the left, it pushes, and when you turn it back, it pulls. So for us to have the Pitman arm pointing down and mounted way above the radius arm mount, we would have to reverse the box. And what you do to reverse the box is you take this end out of it, and you take the guts out and basically flip it around. And you'll have to drill the center out so the bearing fits this end and put a plug in that end. I hope y'all saw all of that. And I'm not 100% sure that's really what I want to do. Okay guys, so like I said, if we were to reverse the box, that would mean we would have to mount it upside down like this to get it where we want it. And we could probably come up with something that didn't look terrible. We would definitely not be able to use our headers. I had the lake pipe style headers, or the megaphone style headers, which I'm thinking about doing different headers anyway, so that's not really a big problem. I wouldn't be mad about that. It just, and honestly, it probably wouldn't look terrible. I'm gonna have to think on it. And I'm probably gonna, I don't know, y'all may have time to comment on this before I get that far along. But my other thought was, and this is going to involve cutting out, I don't know if I'm in the way. Oops. Trying to tell if I'm in the way for y'all to see the chassis. My other, and that's not a great angle, my other thought process on this is to mount the box down below the pitman arm, down below the radius rod pivot. And I am all, that is terrible, terrible. Anyway, my thought process is to mount it down in the chassis and cut a hole in the chassis for the pivot, for the pitman arm to come through the chassis, and I'll have to reinforce and plate the chassis. Okay, so yeah, I'm not mad at that idea. If you looked at like Model A's, and I think Model A's and both Model A's and Model T's had the pitman arm coming through the side of the chassis, or the steering box. There was a hole in the side of the chassis for the steering box to come through. So I really wouldn't be mad about having to do that. I'm not crazy about cutting the chassis and creating a potential weak spot. Not that this is a race car or anything, but we are talking about potentially 275, between 250 and 300 horsepower on this motor. Probably, whatever a stock Explorer makes, 225, 235, 250, whatever it is. A whole lot more than a stock flathead. And by the time I put that camshaft in it, it'll be more than the stock Explorer would make. So, main goal is to be safe, as always. Be safe. Not that this looks safe. This absolutely does not look safe in any kind of way. So, I'm gonna let this video go. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments down below. If you've had any experience setting up a hot rod steering or whatever. But right now, I'm not mad at either way. Like I said, I think if I reverse the box, I could reverse the box. I'm gonna have to do different headers. If I do it, mount it with the box like it is and the steering arm up, which I think is not the correct way to do it. If I'm not greatly mistaken, you're supposed to have the steering arm down for a push pole to help prevent bump steer. I'm not mad at having to do it either way. I just think I would really rather have it down, and then I still don't know if it would clear the headers. I think if I mounted it low, if I got the right arm, if I got the right pitman arm, that it would clear using this style of headers. But I still think I'm going to go to a different style headers anyway, because this megaphone style header really doesn't do anything for to help scavenge the exhaust gases from the other cylinders, if that makes any sense. So anyway, got a lot of considerations, and this is part of doing it, sitting here staring at it and going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And you can read online and you see, 15 different posts, and every one of them is done with a different box and different, way. Every one of them is done different, and that's the fun thing. So get out there and build it the way you want to build it and be safe. Anyway, that's it for today. I've been rambling on, so I'll see y'all tomorrow.